Good morning. This is your CDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The North Central Division has recorded a 9% reduction in overall crime for the period January 1st to June 22nd, 2026, compared to the same period last year. Senior Superintendent Virmala Gift said the decline is being driven by intelligence-led policing, targeted operations, community engagement, and strategic communication initiatives aimed at preventing crime and increasing public awareness.
Key trends indicate that robberies, general larceny, fraud and kidnappings have trended downwards, while homicides, wounding and shootings, breaking offences, larceny of motor vehicles and sexual offences continue to be closely monitored.
While several categories of crime have declined, police reported that officers remain concerned about increases in violent crime and motor vehicle theft.
I will see roughly about 50% increase in the homicide. Could be a little more than that. With regards to the wounding and shooting, we have seen about 1 or 2% increase in that. The breaking offenses, based on the statistical data provided by CAPA, we have seen a slight increase, and the larceny motor vehicle, we have seen about a 5% increase.
The division has also expanded crime-fighting initiatives, including increased patrols, intelligence-driven exercises, and the Eagle Eye program, resulting in numerous arrests being made. In other news, Commissioner Carlos Carraspe of the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service continues to advocate for a shift from traditional prison-focused system to a correctional approach centered on rehabilitation. Commissioner Carraspe stressed that the prison service's long-term vision is to move toward a correction to reduction approach.
We want to move from prisons to correction because we do not want to protect the society for the 5 years or the 6 years or the 10 years that the warrant says, but we want to protect the society beyond the 5, 6, and 10 years, so that when the offender returns to society, they do not return to a life of crime. That is public safety at its best, and that is what this MOU between the prison service and the ministry and the COSTAT will allow us to achieve.
Chair of COSTAT's Board of Trustees, Roama Achatseni, said effective rehabilitation requires more than security measures.
Correctional officers, as well as offenders committed to their charge, the youths, some just out of our schools, and the repeat offenders, they all must be equipped with the knowledge, skill, and values that would facilitate reintegration into our society.
Commissioner Carraspe said legislative reforms provide important support for rehabilitation efforts. He, however, emphasized that the most critical resource remains the people responsible for implementing those programs. And in sport, the Trinidad and Tobago Under-20 women's basketball team is making their return to the Central American and Caribbean Games. The team will depart Trinidad and Tobago on July 22nd for the Dominican Republic. Under the guidance of experienced head coach Christopher Jackson Charles, TNT will be hoping for a podium finish.
As I mentioned, we have some girls who have played at a certain level and know the challenges. And I think based on the camaraderie that we intend to develop, and we have developed and still developing, we can give a good account of ourselves. Our aim and objective, as always, is to compete as opposed to participate. So competition means that we're going to compete, and we're trying to bring back medals for Trinidad and Tobago.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Virmala Balkaran. Good morning, Virmala. Happy Thursday.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Thursday. Gosh, we're almost there. We're just there.
Just there. And, you know, it's a Tobago Thursday as well, so we look forward to all the news from Tobago.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also a very rainy Thursday.
It is.
I know you told me you didn't hear any thunder last night. But
no, well, I was cooking last night, you know, and I was, you know, I think I was just mistaken the pitter patter on the rain on the rooftops for my pot
The
bobbling,
doll.
you know?
Yeah, the doll that you were. Well, I will tell you, the thunder was absolutely loud and a little bit crazy. So, you know, that's definitely something that a lot of people probably would have enjoyed for their sleep last night. Getting onto the roads this morning, it was definitely wet, and there was some crazy driving I actually saw. So I'm very disappointed in that. Also, Kyra, I have to tell you this quickly. Yeah. I find like the bike riders on the highways have been a little bit scary. You know, that situation, I saw some very, very, very crazy driving. So please be safe. And they were, you know, going, you know, between the traffic and all that. I get that you have a small vehicle, but please use it wisely.
A motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like a bike, like a regular bicycle.
Well, you know,
because they should near the highway anyway.
Yeah, any type of bike I'm mean. So please be safe on the roads, going in and out of traffic. I don't think we should do that with that kind of speed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, years ago there was a horrifying case, and that is what, as a child, I saw the aftermath of the accident, and that is what turned me off from motorcycles on the whole. I mean, like, whoever want to do it, kudos to you that want to ride a motorcycle, but
yeah,
to me,
if you know, if you're brave enough to do it and you can do it, then 100% I get the adrenaline rush, and I get the fact that it's a very functional you know, vehicle, but please be a little extra careful. Well, also, you know, Carrie, there was that earthquake that we're going to talk about in a little bit when we get the show started in Venezuela. But before we go, I wanted to tell you that I'm grateful for you in my life. I'm grateful for everyone. And I know you are too. The fragility of life, I'm always reminded by that. I went to a funeral yesterday, and it was, you know, a sober reminder of how short life is, and it can be taken away from you at any moment.
That's right. So while we're here, we should be kind, we should be considerate toward one another, and give the people you love, give them a hug, show them the love. Don't be afraid to express that, because you don't know when, you know, if you'll ever have the chance to again. Yeah,
you know, love, if you don't express it, is just love that's going to sit in your heart. So let people know that you love them. You never know. You just never know. Well, Carrie, as you said, it is Tobago Thursday, so we're going to get things started. I'll talk to you soon, and yeah, so much to look forward to.
Always so much to look forward to with you. Looking forward to it and locking on.
All right, Carrie, bye-bye.
All right, thanks so much, Virmala. When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going right after this short break.
Being connected, it means a lot, because first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel, and I never regretted it.
Ready to brighten your space the right way? Don't settle for the ordinary. Step into brilliant. At Trinity Lighting Etc. Limited, we bring you over 20 years of experience in bulbs, specialty lighting, and hard-to-find lighting parts. Not sure what you need? Our knowledgeable team is ready to guide you. Whether it's for your home, medical, commercial, marine, or business, we deliver quality you can trust at prices you love. Visit us today at 123 Western Main Road, St. James, or call us at 628-8373 or WhatsApp at 461-8620. Check us out on email at trinityetc@yahoo.com. Trinity Lighting Etc. Limited. We light up your life.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders, turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
mind so consumed with pain.
You're fired.
I need this job, man.
You need help.
I have other concerns for tenants who actually pay.
So how can I help?
I need a room. I got $40.
That's not enough. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's me.
You okay?
I need your help.
Thursday, 25th June 2026. The time now, it is 6:11 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago on the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, let's take a look now at what's trending this morning.
En este momento, bueno, retirándonos las operaciones. Se queda el mostrador de Conviasa.
At least 32 people have been killed and more than 700 injured after two powerful earthquakes struck Venezuela near the capital, Caracas, just seconds apart. The quakes, measuring magnitudes 7.2 and 7.5, caused buildings to collapse and sent residents rushing into the streets as authorities urged people to evacuate their homes. Now, a state of emergency has also been declared, with officials warning that casualties could rise as rescue efforts continue, and the full extent of the damage is assessed. While the earthquakes were felt across Venezuela as far away as Bogota, Colombia. They struck during a national holiday when many residents were at home. Meanwhile, Trinidad and Tobago also experienced a 4.1 magnitude tremor yesterday. Meanwhile, the government of Trinidad and Tobago has expressed solidarity with Venezuela following the powerful earthquakes that struck the country. The Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs says it is monitoring the situation through Trinidad and Tobago's diplomatic mission in Caracas, which was not significantly impacted. The government says it stands ready to provide support and assistance to Venezuelan authorities where possible as rescue and recovery efforts continue. And finally, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has returned to Trinidad and Tobago and officially resumed her duties after being out of the country to attend a funeral. She also expressed appreciation to Gillian John, who acted as Prime Minister during her absence, for her leadership and her service. Well, you know, we're continuing with our Dear Men messages, and feeling isolated can really take a toll on your mental health. Staying connected with family, friends, or your community can help protect against loneliness and depression. And heart disease is a major health concern for men, but many risks can be reduced. So know your numbers, make healthy choices, and don't wait until it's too late to take action. Well, as you know, it is Tobago Thursday, where we spotlight all things happening on the Sister Isle. We also link up with Sweet 100.1 FM as usual. Lots to look forward to when we come back, so you know what to do. Grab your cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on, you know.
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. Well, yesterday we were unpacking the resignation of Keir Starmer from the UK's Prime Minister. Before I get into the serious part of it, I am, as you know, a huge fan of cats. And if you are familiar with the UK and Downing Street, you know there's a cat, well, Larry the cat. And apparently Larry the cat has seen 6 prime ministers come and go, and I believe he's going to his 7th. So Larry the cat actually lives outside of 10 Downing Street. So that's always something that I'm interested to see little updates on Larry. But going back to that situation, yesterday we were speaking to political scientist Professor Hamid Ghani all about the resignation of Keir Starmer. And, as you know, he did go from winning that landslide victory in 2024, and now he's resigning. So many questions are being asked why, after that massive support, now he has to resign. So, the thing is, the honeymoon phase ends very quickly, and the public saw very little immediate improvement in the living standards that they voted for. And they said that, growth remained weak and the cost of living crisis continued. And eventually he just lost a lot of popularity. And then immigration became a major problem in 2025, and he adopted some tougher language on immigration, and he really hoped to stop voters moving to Neil Farage's Reform UK. And of course that strategy failed, and we're looking to 2026 now, where he has resigned. So as you know, we've been unpacking all of that, and of course the similarities with the UK system, the Westminster system that we share in Trinidad and Tobago as well. So that's also a situation we are continuing to follow for you. So why did Keir Starmer really fall? Well, it was a victory that he had built on conservative sentiment rather than an enthusiasm for Labour. Economic improvement was absolutely slow for voters to actually feel. So imagine voting for something and then you don't get that as immediate as you want. And there were repeated policy missteps as well, and some serious U-turns that affected and hurt his credibility. And then there was the Mandelson-Epstein controversy, and it raised serious questions about his judgment. And, the Reform UK really successfully captured many working class voters. So everything was kind of working against him. And now Andy Burnham has emerged as a credible and popular alternative. So once again, we are continuing to give you the updates on that situation out of the UK. That's Keir Starmer's resignation. The time now is 6:20 a.m. What have you been up to this morning? The traffic, as I told you, seems to be not too bad these days. I'm really not too sure what's happening in terms of classes. I know a lot of, kids are sitting exams as well, but the roads are absolutely wet. So please be careful. And of course, if you want to contribute to our show, all you have to do is send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. Also, we see your comments every single day on Facebook and YouTube. We are always seeing everything that you leave us, and we love hearing from you. Had the opportunity to meet some really special people yesterday. On a personal note, attended a funeral. And, after that funeral, just really hit me as I was speaking to Carrie this morning about the fragility of life. And I sadly witnessed a little child at the cremation site in Waterloo who, was just really, really, really torn up over his father's death, or what seemed like his father. And it just reminded me that life can be just snatched away from us at any point in time. So please, act with love and care and concern for the people around you, and continue to enjoy life like every single day is your last. Also bringing you some extra news this morning. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service confirms that a businessman and his wife were detained yesterday. And the TTPS says that officers executed a Supreme Court approved search warrant at locations in West Moorings and Trin City as part of ongoing investigations. 2 individuals were detained and are assisting police. The police service says no charges have been laid at this time, and reminds the public that the execution of a warrant does not mean any wrongdoings were established. Well, continuing now with Tobago Thursday on Trinidad and Tobago Today. In Monday's historic 4.12 billion THA budget presentation, Finance Secretary Petalan Roberts made a definitive promise. The differently abled community will not be left behind on Tobago's pathway to prosperity. Backing that promise is an $11.3 million request aimed at a total overhaul of local disability support, including a brand new Department of Disability Inclusion. Amazing news. A dedicated special needs campus at Signal Hill, and a historic mandate requiring every single THA division to employ at least 2 differently abled person. So really good news for us this morning. Well, joining us to give us the official stakeholder response is President of the Trinidad and Tobago Chapter of Disabled Peoples International. That's Danielle Reyes. Good morning, Mr. Reyes.
Good morning, and how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
Well, I'm wonderful. I'm so happy to be here this morning to give my reviews on everything that was said on our budget.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, let's start with that. What was your overall reaction to the THA's announcement of these initiatives aimed at really improving communities and inclusion for persons with disabilities in Tobago?
Well, it's really grateful to see that, for so much years, persons with disabilities are being neglected, and it's so good to see that we have a finance minister and a ministry and a government that realize that persons with disability need more than anything else, because living a life with a person with a disability is really, really challenging, and it's good to see that they really make a decision now to really bring persons with disability into society, because persons with disability, as I said, we've been neglected a lot, and for years. So it's good to see now that we have a government and a secretary is willing to make these changes, and we want to work with her to make these changes, because I had a meeting with the secretary about a month ago. So I'm so happy to see that she really did put us into a budget, this financial budget.
Yeah. Now, the THA is proposing a dedicated Department of Disability Inclusion, which I think is amazing news. So from your perspective, what impact could a department like this have, and what should be its first priority?
It's really wonderful. It's really, really grateful for this, because it's like persons with disability, we have different sorts of disability, and being a person with a disability, schooling is very hard for a person with a disability, because we have physical disability, mental disability, challenges disability. So we have all different types of disability. So with this facility, and once you have the good teachers and staff and whoever there, that this school will be wonderful for person with disability, because the government schools now, they are not equipped for persons with disability, because I have friends who did SCA and couldn't go to school because it have steps, and they could only go to school on floor alone, but as time for the top floor, they had to finish school because they can't go upstairs, so it's challenging for that aspects in schools. So I'm so happy now to see that this government is really making those changes, and I hope that, especially the school part, I hope that they start immediately. It's something that needs to be started immediately, because we have a lot of children home who really not getting the teaching skills that they really need, and we know everybody can't turn doctors and lawyers, but school is very important. They can learn to write the name, they can learn to go and do bank transactions, go read the papers and all these things. So a school right now for persons with disability in Tobago, what they want to do there, it is needed, and it is needed really, really quickly.
Now, there's also talks of a special needs campus at Signal Hill. So why is a facility like this important, and what would you like to see included to ensure that it meets the needs of the students and their families?
Well, what I would like to see with this campus should be a campus. It could be a multi-purpose campus, and a multi-purpose campus meaning we have sports going on, because sports plays a really, really big role in communities and in society. So we'll have that. I hope that they include that in the campus. We need to have like housing campus, because there's a lot of persons who will need proper housing and all these things, and basically, how to really say it is that I could just watch and see what they're really going to do with this campus, and transportation-wise, because, you need to get from point A to point B to get these persons to this campus. So there's a lot I could really talk about, but let's watch and see how this campus is going to come along. And I hope that they involve me in bringing this campus to the where they want it to be. Because I'm just going to make it short. I'm not saying that an able-bodied person cannot do the work, but sometimes you need that extra hand there, like myself as the president of the Disabled People's International. I will know, all right, this door is good for somebody when a wheelchair space, this ramp is too high, because being in society right now, I see where a wheelchair cannot go in, where the toilet facility, a wheelchair cannot go in, a person with a walker cannot go in. So I'm just hoping that when they start this project, that they have me as the president of the Disabled People's International to make decisions. Okay, this toilet is good. We need bars here. This ramp is too high. So we can only wait and see how this campus is going to really come along.
Mm-hmm. That's the proposal we were talking about earlier also requires every THA division and special purpose company to employ at least 2 differently abled individuals. So I want to come back to that now. What opportunities could this create, and what systems should be put in place to ensure that meaningful employment, that it is meaningful employment rather than just, token appointments?
Well, that is a wonderful idea. As I said, I had a meeting ago with our secretary, and this is some of the things that we spoke about. She said our chief sec demanded that all ministries employ a person with a disability. I want to employ our chief sec for that, because a lot of persons with disability, they live on a grant, and people feel because they have a disability, it's like you cannot do anything. So I believe our secretary make that change by saying every ministry must hire a person with a disability. So it's a wonderful, great idea. And although the secretary make that request, Pigeon Point Heritage Park for the all the years I've been living in Tobago already started hiring persons with disability.
Really?
Yes, Pigeon Point have deaf person who are physically movements, person physically challenged. Yeah, Pigeon Point started that years. So Pigeon Point, I want to congratulate them. And just the other day, I went in Pigeon Point, and I have a young man I always seen walking about Tobago. He's working at Pigeon Point now. So I'm so proud of Pigeon Point Heritage Park. He's doing maintenance in Pigeon Point. So Pigeon Point always had that going on, So I'm glad that the government take up that aspect of really making changes like that, because as I say, I'm self-employed. I'm also a person with a disability, right? I have a swim school. Look at that.
Wow.
I teach able-bodied children how to swim. I also have a sports academy called Stingrays Sports Academy and Swim School, where I teach the children PE, right? So I have all the different preschools that comes to my academy. Mondays we are swimming, and all the rest of these we are PE. So for a person with a disability, I'm opening that door and trying to show the public that, hey, not because you have a disability, you can't do anything. And that's just how it's the stigma, because you're walking like this, you can't do this. Yes, it may be a little challenging, but that don't say that I cannot do it, And I'm doing really well as a person with a disability, and I'm so glad that the government decided to make these changes, and I hope that the people who they hire and get the proper training, because, certain things going to be a little challenging. So I just don't want to hire somebody because, you want to give some employment. We need to take our time, do evaluations on a person, train them properly, before we really start to make these changes. And I hope that and it just don't be because of this government. I hope that if government has to change, that it's something that will be mandatory all the time. Because every day in this world, we have persons with disability coming in. People are carrying disabilities into this world. So I hope that it just won't be a one-time thing. I hope it's a mandatory thing, and it goes on if government change or government it stays there as long as it could.
The budget allocates approximately $11.3 million towards these initiatives. So, Danielle, do you believe now that this level of funding is sufficient to make meaningful progress, or are there areas where additional investment may be needed?
Well, that's a lot of money for somebody, for a person that is really relocated for persons with disability, because for the last budget I never really heard that we get something like this to really spend all this money on persons with disability. So I want to thank our Secretary Patel again, for really thinking about persons with disability and really want to make these changes, because look, I can right, that government build 1% of each house supposed to be for a person with a disability. So with all these finances, I hope that all these changes being recommended and all these things, so it's a lot of money. So let's just wait and see how the money is being spent, and if our goals that they say they want to accomplish be accomplished.
Thank you very much, Danielle, for joining us this morning. And, we hope that we continue to have positive updates with, this. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, you take care.
All right, take care. That was Danielle Reyes, the Trinidad and Tobago chapter of Disabled People's International president. While we take a quick break, and when we come back to Tobago Thursday, it all continues.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
My mind's so consumed with pain.
You're fired.
I need this job, man.
You need help.
I have other concerns for tenants who actually pay.
So, how can I help?
I need a room. I got $40.
That's not enough. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's me.
You okay?
I need your help.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
That the youth are the future of our tourism product, but our next guest is proving that they are leading the industry right now. From managing her own natural hair care brand since age 9 to advocating for the fusion of AI and cultural heritage across the Caribbean, Jolie St. John has redefined what it means to be the junior Tourism Secretary. Well, with the upcoming Youth Congress just around the corner, she joins us today now to discuss the massive doors that this initiative will open for local students and the critical advice that she has for her successor. Good morning, Jolie.
Thank you for having me. Good morning to Tobago. Good morning to your team.
So looking back at the moment now when you won the regional title in Barbados, bringing that pride back home to Tobago, how has the past year as the Caribbean's junior Minister of Tourism changed your perspective on what the island has to offer the world?
That moment was truly emotionally defining during my tenure as Junior Secretary of Tourism for Tobago. And it reminded me that Tobago story is not just something we should keep on our shores. It's a story that deserves to be shared with the world. And over the past year, as Regional Junior Minister of Tourism, my experiences have allowed me to view the island on a much wider lens. A lot of the things we regard as ordinary as Tobagonians, or culture, or traditions, or people, the festivals that we host, or cuisine, these are things that really make for a world-renowned tourism product. And as we speak of being a world-renowned tourism destination, my experience has also taught me and enlightened me to the fact that we do still have work to do in terms of enhancing our products and ensuring that what we offer is truly top tier. But Tobago really is a gem within the Caribbean, and it's enlightening to see that engaging with other tourism professionals and youth from other islands allows me to see that we have similar but yet unique and differently offered products.
Now, Jolie, tomorrow delegates from 8 schools will compete in the Tobago Tourism Youth Congress for students across Tobago who, might be hesitant about getting involved in the future. What would you say to them about the real-world opportunities that this competition actually creates?
This competition is not just simply a competition. It's an opportunity for them to discover themselves and their potential, because many of us usually harness creativity. We have bold ideas and we have innovative perspectives, but we don't often share them simply because we doubt ourselves and we lack the confidence. And I myself have had experiences with self-doubt, but opportunities like these are platforms specifically created for us to develop this confidence, improve our public speaking, build networks, and to represent Tobago on a larger stage. I can personally attest to the fact that entering the Youth Congress has changed the trajectory of my life. It opened doors that I did not know existed. I would have gained regional representation, I would have gained scholarships, and of course, international exposure. But beyond these titles and opportunities, the competition would have helped me recognize the power of my own voice. And of course, it will do that for all other junior secretaries and regional junior ministers.
Now, as we look ahead to this year's Youth Congress, what can the public expect from the delegates? And, tell us, how can the community really come out and support these brilliant young minds?
The public can expect delegates who are passionate, prepared, and ready to showcase their vision for the future of Tobago's tourism industry. They will be presenting on topics ranging from social media and sustainable destination management, cultural industries and tourism innovation, multi-generational travel, and the new age of tourism. So it definitely is expected to be a fruitful and diverse discussion. And of course, the public is welcomed and encouraged to come out and support the youth tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. at the Anne Mitchell Gift Auditorium, Scarborough Library. It helps the students to know that they have support and the community that backs their voice and what they stand for.
Now, beyond your tourism portfolio, Jolie, you're an entrepreneur who actually started your own hair care line. That's amazing. It's called Fruity Roots, right? And you did this at a very young age. So how have you really balanced the immense responsibilities of school and running a business and serving as also a regional tourism ambassador?
Since 9 years old, it has been an ever-evolving and changing experience in terms of balance, that transition from primary into secondary school. Your demands change, and of course, the greatest lesson that I learned was prioritization. I've learned that success is not necessarily doing everything perfectly, and it's not doing everything alone. Throughout that time, I would have learned the importance as well of building a support system and recognizing that not everything needs to be navigated in solitude. And each role that I have taken on, each accolade that I have earned, it really has contributed to my growth, shapes me into the person that I am today, and it has encouraged me to be intentional with my time and stay disciplined.
Well, you've really set the bar incredibly high, Jolie, and with the new Junior Tourism Secretary being crowned at the upcoming Congress, what is the single most important piece of advice that you will give to them now to survive and thrive in this new role?
If I had to give only one piece of advice, it would absolutely be to embrace the opportunity to the fullest. But of course, never ever lose sight of why you started and how you got to where you are. The title comes with a lot of publicity, a lot of recognition, but the true impact of your tenure comes from the work you put in, the lives you touch, and the conversations you have, as well as the initiatives you create and implement. So my advice is definitely to stay curious, stay humble throughout the journey, and never be afraid to use your voice to push for the implementation of what you believe and use your voice to respectfully challenge boundaries. You were chosen for this role because someone or several people saw potential in you. So it's up to you now to trust yourself with the ideas and the roles that you have been blessed with.
Wonderful advice this morning, Julia, and I know that that resonates with a lot of our viewers. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you soon, and good luck in all that you continue to do, and fruity roots as well.
Yes, thank you so much. And before I leave, I really want to thank the entire community of Tobago and the Division of Tourism, Antiquities and Creative Industries for all their support over this past year.
All right. Thank you, Julie. Have a good day. All right. The time now 6:45. A short break. When we come back, more again on Tobago Thursday.
Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. It has been a fantastic 2026 so far, and the Word of God has just been unraveling in ways that we can only imagine. So I don't want you to miss out. Remember, every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. right here. Looking forward to being with you.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
long drives, or house lives.
We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Coming up, hot plates, cold drinks, and chill vibes were the order of the month in Antigua and Barbuda. Top chefs, tasty menus, influencers, and foodies. The boxes were ticked, kitchens buzzing, and grills fired up. It's the one and only Antigua and Barbuda Culinary Month. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Came out from underground, doing a mystery new
En este momento, bueno, retirándonos las operaciones.
Well, just an update on that earthquake in Venezuela. Now, at least 164 people have been confirmed dead and also 971 injured. Remember, that's two powerful earthquakes that struck Venezuela, and it was a 7.2 magnitude foreshock, and that was followed just 40 seconds after by a 7.5 magnitude quake. Now, officials are warning that this death toll is likely to rise as search and rescue operations continue. And of course, the United States has also pledged emergency aid and rescue teams. We'll continue to bring you the updates as they come to hand. But for now, that number is 164 people have been confirmed dead with 971 injured. Well, we're continuing Tobago Thursday on Trinidad and Tobago Today on the show. And Trinidad and Tobago actually remains under the influence of a series of tropical waves, bringing periods of heavy rainfall, thunderstorms and unsettled weather conditions. With another tropical wave expected to affect the country today, concerns remain over the potential for street and flash flooding, landslides, strong wind gusts and an increase in Saharan dust concentrations. Well, joining us this morning to explain what residents can expect over the coming days and how best we can prepare is meteorologist Gary Benjamin of the Trinidad and Tobago Met Service. Good morning, Mr. Benjamin.
Good morning. Good morning to you and everyone listening and viewing at this time.
Now, Mr. Benjamin, now that the axis of tropical wave 19 has passed Trinidad and Tobago, can you give us an update on the current weather conditions and what residents can expect for the rest of today? I know we woke up to some rainy weather, and last night there was some thunder and lightning, especially in the area of Central where I'm from.
Well, for tropical wave 19 out of the series between 18 and 19 over the last couple of days, tropical wave 19 has effectively passed us. We are looking for a fairer day today, a much fairer day. What we are looking at, the major concern, is the Saharan dust today, and we may get some gustiness. Usually there's a surge in the wind speed just after the passage of tropical waves, and that surge is bringing a short bout of significant Saharan dust, at least for today. And we may get gusts in around 50 kilometers per hour. That is not the normal wind. It will be gustiness within a couple seconds or so, especially in elevated areas. So today we're looking at a fairer day, more with Saharan dust and probably some gustiness.
Now, help us understand, even after the passage of the wave, why can we still continue to experience showers and thunderstorms or unsettled weather conditions?
Okay, a wave is not just the axis. A wave is a synoptic feature. Some spread as much as a couple hundred miles from at the wavelength itself. So the wave could take a few hours to a day or so to actually pass. So when people say that the wave has passed, usually they mean the axis itself. But the wave has a front end, which is more normally divergent wind. And after the axis, there is a lot of convergence taking place as the higher pressures seek to push their way in the space, so to speak, that the axis is leaving. So you have a lot of convergence after the axis of the wave, and you find that trailing convergence creating convective activity, especially if the ITCZ is modulated northward into that convergence. It didn't happen yesterday, so we have that convergence only for a few hours after the axis of tropical wave number 19. And therefore, today we are clearing out quite nicely.
Now, Mr. Benjamin, the Met Service has highlighted the possibility of street and flash flooding due to, the already saturated ground conditions. So what areas remain most vulnerable and what precautions should we continue to take?
Well, the areas that are most vulnerable are the traditional areas of flooding, the flatland areas, especially those areas which are close to streams and smaller rivers. So whenever we have any heavy showers, we know in Trinidad for a fact in this time that we would get street flooding, depending on the severity of the showers, the strength of the showers. The street flooding would be severe accordingly. but usually the street flooding would have quick runoff unless there's some blockage. And also with the flash flooding, if you're near to any fast moving streams, they could overfill the banks. That is in the case of strong showers occurring within short periods of time. And so within the last few days, within this last month of the rainy season, we have been having areas of strong convective activity and thunderstorms, especially so within the last couple of days, so that any addition to the ground and to the water levels, any quick addition, we would see that type of flash flooding or street flooding if we have any strong showers taking place. That would occur in the vicinity. So you have to know and be aware of where you are living and take the necessary precautions that you would take to prevent any flood waters that may rise into your backyard or close to your door if it does occur in strong downpours. And also if you're living on the hills, you look at the land, you take a careful look at your land where you're living. You will know best as how the lay of your land and look for any changes that might be taking place as signs of landslips or landslides.
Yeah. Mr. Benjamin, my final question for you is, we're looking ahead now and the Met Service is monitoring another tropical wave in the Atlantic. Can you give us the latest information on that and how closely is it being tracked?
Well, we track everything very closely across our area of interest. This wave is somewhere between around 35 west longitude. Today, it is in the equatorial Atlantic, the middle of the equatorial Atlantic. It is a couple of days away. When I was analyzing it, I had seen some small, moderate areas of vorticity, that is the turning force sometimes we look for. But the projections is that it may not, it is most likely not expected to develop into anything serious, but that is the projections for this time. Its movement is going to take it somewhere towards the east-northeast with a slanted axis, and just at the end of the axis, we would find on Saturday, sometime around Saturday morning, we should see an increase in cloudiness, and the probabilities for isolated thunderstorms or a heavy shower should increase on Saturday.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, for spending this time with us this morning, giving us a much-needed update. So we'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.
Much appreciated. Take care.
All right. That was Mr. Gary Benjamin, meteor of the TNT Met Service, telling us all about the weather situation, on what to expect. Also, if you're like me, you've been struggling with the Saharan dust. It is quite awful. So we take a break. Harry's up next with the Major Network News. We come back inside hour number 2 Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on,
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toontime. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z. Or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugsbot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch Terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with Terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. The need for regional corporations to build stronger partnerships with stakeholders was highlighted by Chaguanas East MP and Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit, as she emphasized their importance in delivering greater benefits to citizens. Speaking at a joint select committee on local authorities, service commissions and statutory authorities, Minister Mohit reflected on her own experience as a local government representative, noting the frustration of requests going unanswered.
Now, at every meeting, councillors will follow up on their requests. And when these representatives have no response because they have no material or they ask for the material through the said Ministry of Works, they are not getting it, or its equipment is not available, or they don't have any manpower to do the works, the political arm becomes a little bit frustrated.
Minister Mohit stressed that coordination between stakeholders, particularly when it comes to roadworks, for example, must be strengthened.
The relationship needs to be improved between Ministry of Works and local government, because I do not think it's a tit for tat and blame game that should be happening here. It has to be both ministries working in tandem.
Minister Mohit urged all stakeholders to maintain clear lines of communication and attend the various collaborative meetings for the benefit of the wider public. In other news, there's a need for a comprehensive study to evaluate the impact of youth programs, including the on-the-job training program. This according to Vice President of the Employers Consultative Association, Neil Derrick. Speaking during a joint select committee on social services and public administration on Wednesday, he said while there is support for evaluating existing programs, there's a need to better understand the skills being developed.
We are not in a position, I think, that where we will actually launch such a trace study, but we do welcome it because we would like to know how much people have different skill sets coming from other organizations, especially when you have things like expatriate companies coming, when there are challenges. Many say that there are no qualified persons in Trinidad.
The JSC focused on youth unemployment and underemployment in Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Derrick also highlighted structural challenges within the labor market, noting that smaller businesses often lack the resources to hire and train young employees.
37% of our members say that 50% of their workforce is within 18 to 35. So yes, there is a high the recruitment of young persons. But we have to look at that from a structure point, because in terms of our membership are some of the larger organizations who depend on that. But a large part of is the informal workforce, which is really where you have small companies, MSMEs.
Meanwhile, Senior Human Resource Executive Joella Cook Walcott pointed to behavioral challenges affecting employability, noting that punctuality and attendance remain major national issues, alongside growing workplace difficulties in managing neurodiversity. On to some sport now. The Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association has confirmed that the junior national golf team will depart for the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championship this Sunday. The championship is scheduled to take place from June 28th to July 3rd at the Playa Dorada Golf Club in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. The prestigious regional tournament will feature top young golfers from across the Caribbean, including Barbados, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Puerto Rico, and host nation Dominican Republic. TNT's lineup features Josh Franklin and Varun Singh, alongside debutants Haley Lane and James Ross. Adam Green will captain the squad, joined by Isaiah Rowley and Ethan Collier in the boys 16 to 18 division. The team will be managed by Kalam Sukur and coached by Monifa Seeley. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back, it's hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digicel is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
long drives, or house limes.
We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago today on TTT, 9 minutes after 7 o'clock. As you saw, if you have any ideas, you want to contribute to the show in any way, if you want to get on, all you have to do is send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. Also, for everything that you see here, you can see it a little bit later on at TTT Live Online. We're also on all social media platforms, as well as our sister stations, Talk City 91.1 FM, Sweet 100.1 FM, and also Next 99. And speaking of our sister stations, we'll be linking up with them in a short bit. You know, today we check in with Nicholas and Mark, and they're on Suite 100. Well, just taking you back to another update. That Venezuela earthquake, remember we were speaking about that this morning. Just to confirm for you, at least 164 people are dead, and those are twin quakes that happened in Tobago, and also more than 900 people have been injured. So this is definitely Venezuela's most powerful earthquake in more than a century, and this is according to the country's acting president. Remember that 7.5 magnitude quake struck just 40 seconds after a 7.2 magnitude shock. And the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that the U.S. is immediately deploying rescue teams and aid at the direction of President Donald Trump. And Rubio also expressed support in a call with acting President Delcy Rodriguez. Now, this quake is really coming at a dire time for Venezuela, which, as you know, is in a political and financial crisis. So also the European nations are offering assistance and transport aircraft to Venezuela. The EU Commissioner for Equality, Preparedness and Crisis Management was actually talking a little bit about that this morning on, international news media. And so the United States, there's China, there's Chile as well, and other nations have officially offered assistance to Venezuela, and more pledges of support are rolling in as European leaders are responding this morning. Now, the European Union's Crisis Management Commissioner, as I just told you before, said that EU-funded partners are already providing help on the ground. They've been activated, and they're saying that they're standing ready to step up assistance. She also offered condolences to the victims of the earthquake. Also, France is immediately deploying a team of 85 specialized search and rescue operators. The French President Emmanuel Macron said that he held a phone call with acting Venezuelan President Delcy Rodriguez, in which he expressed solidarity and readied French assistance. Moving across to Spain now, their foreign ministry is saying that they're offering Venezuela emergency assistance through their military emergencies unit and also their development agencies. Then we have Germany. Now, Germany's defense ministry is saying that it can make 6 transport aircraft available for emergency support, and this will allow the country to, transport personnel and equipment to Venezuela, as well as to facilitate transport flights within Venezuela. Also, Italy, their prime minister, is expressing solidarity and saying that they are also helping to promptly activate every channel of humanitarian aid and assistance to, Venezuela. And then we have the president of the European Commission also saying that they will offer some help. So just to confirm for you again, 164 people have died, and this number has been officially confirmed. And this is coming from the acting president, Delcy Rodriguez. 971 people have also been confirmed injured. But the true death toll is actually feared to be much, much higher. Given the number of collapsed and damaged buildings, and the authorities are continuing search and rescue efforts. So remember, at least 30 aftershocks have occurred since the main 2 earthquakes, and once again coming out of Venezuela from the acting president. We'll continue to bring you all the updates as they come to hand. Well, continuing with Tobago Thursday today, from cruise ship stages to local competitions, Tobagonian Jeremy Stewart continues to make his mark. Well, we have something for you now on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
You may have have enjoyed his melodious voice at events across Tobago, from the Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival to intimate performances on smaller stages. Regardless of the venue, Jeremy Stewart's remarkable vocal talent and versatility consistently sets him apart. The Palatine native is harnessing his natural gifts to build a promising career in music.
My love for music really started back as early as before I could walk and talk with the legacy of my grandfather, who was Jerry Stewart, and even taking mentorship further down the line of my family through my father, who was a calypsonian on the island. He went by the sobriquet of Manish. And then my uncle, who was an international soca star, otherwise known as Blacks. Yeah. And even on the other side of my family, with my mom, everyone sings in church and stuff. So it was very inevitable.
Music runs deep in Jeremy's veins, and from an early age he developed a passion for the national instrument.
My love for pan really came in primary school time, where I really started to play pan under tutorship of Ryan John. And it just gradually grew and grew and grew until it got to this point where now it is basically my life, singing and playing pan.
Today, Jeremy enjoys the best of both worlds as he pursues his dream as a vocalist while working alongside Dixieland Steel Orchestra and is serving as a tutor in the Tobago House of Assembly's Pan in Schools program. His soothing voice and his skill as a panist have opened doors beyond the Tobago shores. Most recently, he returned from performing aboard a cruise ship alongside fellow performer Kanique Andrews.
Through the guidance and preparation done by Mr. Adrian Jaikaran, he's a Trinidadian who works in the company that provides the musicians for the cruise liner, right? They prepared us, they put us through the certain trainings and stuff like that, that we had to get the certificates and then basically audition our talents, where they determined that, okay, these persons are able to meet the requirements. And it was really a very, very, very different experience, eye-opening experience.
Jeremy explained that the opportunity not only broadened his horizons, but also helped him grow as a musician.
3 months, well, exactly 99 days, basically. And yeah, it was just non-stop singing and playing pan, experiencing the different islands and stuff like that. Awesome, honestly.
After proudly representing Trinidad and Tobago abroad, Jeremy returned home where his talent once again earned him recognition. Encouraged by his friends, he entered the Karaoke Star Search competition hosted at Anchor's Bar and Grill.
The very first Tuesday was an open category, come and sing whatever genre. The next was power soca, the next was R&B, and then the last night was reggae and dancehall.
His captivating voice and ability to perform across multiple genres impressed both the judges and audiences, earning him the coveted top prize.
Just coming out from the cruise ship, performing there back on your home ground, as it were, you're feeling, seeing the support.
So that was the winning, honestly, still very surreal to me because I did not expect to win. I mean, being here in the moment, facing the competition. Shout out to Rolda one time because she was the runner-up, and it was a close one. It was a tough fight, but I'm very grateful for the support that was shown every single Tuesday night we came out here. The crowd was absolutely amazing. It was ram-packed with persons supporting everyone. Yeah, and it was very refreshing.
While Jeremy has proved himself to be a versatile vocalist, he admits that contemporary jazz remains his favorite genre.
I wouldn't say it was difficult, but it definitely wasn't easy. Luckily, the communication team would have sent us emails and WhatsApp and informed us, okay, so every Tuesday you have a different genre of music that you have to present your own selection on based on that genre. The most difficult part was making sure and choose something that somebody else wouldn't come with. You want to be able to stay, I don't want to say predictable, you don't want to be too predictable when it comes to the genres and stuff like that. And it actually challenged me to learn new genres of music.
As he continues to enjoy the support of Tobagonians and celebrate his recent achievements, Jeremy remains focused on refining his craft and preparing for future opportunities.
So I just focus on that, and also being the stage side arranger at Dixieland Steel Orchestra with the different gigs that they have already had and those that are coming up. I currently don't have any personal music on the way, searching for studio right now. But all in all, I'm just staying active, preparing, keeping busy until my next big show.
And before we wrapped up our conversation, Jeremy treated us to a brief performance showcasing the vocal talent that continues to win over audiences wherever he goes.
One of my favorite jazzy soul R&B songs is by Stevie Wonder. It's called Overjoyed. So it says, over time, I've been building my castle of love just for two, though you never knew you were my reason. I've come much too far for you now to say, for you to say come back some other day. And though you don't believe that they do, dreams do come true. For did my dream come true when I looked at you? And maybe too if you would believe, you too may be overjoyed, over love over me.
I am Carissa Douglas for TTT News, and I love Tobago.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Rivalries, predictions, and bragging rights. Who are you backing? Who's already making excuses? And who do you think will lift the trophy? Join hosts Mariah Ramharak and Nasira Mohammed live on The Final VAR, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. as they discuss every controversy, every goal, and review every match from football's biggest stage, along with a panel of guests. The Final VAR, where the debate is as exciting as the game. Watch exclusively on TTT and stream on TTT Live online.
My mind's so consumed with pain.
You're fired.
I need this job, man.
You need help.
I have other concerns for tenants who actually pay.
So, how can I help?
I need a room. I got $40.
That's not enough. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's me.
You okay?
I need your help.
Hi, everybody. I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world on Super Z, or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forest alongside our robot pals from Bugspot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. Now, music has long been a powerful tool for storytelling, for connection, and really bringing communities together. And for decades, Renaissance Productions, well, they've used musical theatre as a way to share messages of faith and hope and service, while also supporting vulnerable families and children through their charitable work. Well, that mission continues now through a collaboration with the Massey Trinidad All-Star Steel Orchestra, and they're blending that sweet sound of the steel pan with gospel music. How amazing is that? And a production focused on inspiration and also community. Well, joining us this morning is J. Errol Lewis, Public Relations Officer of Massey Trinidad All-Stars Steel Orchestra, to talk all about the collaboration, and also Miss Stacey Ann Patrick. Good morning.
So just as a correction, J. Errol Lewis is actually the founder of Renaissance Productions. And he is also the producer of the show, and I am the public relations officer.
All right,
for Trinidad
well, welcome
Steel
both
Orchestra.
of you.
So he really is the brain behind I Am That I Am, the Gospel on Steel.
All right, so let's start talking about Renaissance Productions now. What inspired the organization's founding in, when it was founded? So I'll let you tell us all about that.
When I sing gospel music, I love gospel music. I grew up in church. I didn't have a choice. But I found that there was something else that I needed to do, and I like theater. I have to tell you that as a student in high school, I walked through the savannah one night late to go to the Queen's Royal College to see the Black Jacobins with Nigel Scott and Errol Jones and all those great actors. So I've always had a passion for theater, and therefore marrying theater and gospel music is what Renaissance is about.
That's beautiful, actually. Now, as you said, musical theater is really a way to share messages of faith, but also supporting communities. Why has the arts been such a powerful vehicle for that kind of outreach?
The Bible is based on theater. And I have to tell you, Jesus healed a man by using mud and putting it in his eye and tell him, go and wash in the river. You know, so you find that theatrical space being utilized all the time in gospel. We wanted to use that tool so that we can express ourselves, but also use the income that we get from it to help others to get a leg up.
And I think that, just to interject, I think faith, regardless of what religion you belong to, is what is common across Trinidad and Tobago. So we can all relate to having a prayer, saying a prayer, wanting to do something. And this weekend, at the Woodbrook Pentecostal Church, we're doing it with our national instrument. And in song, we all love to sing and raise our hands as part of who we are. So I think that's one of the reasons. That's an easy way to get into the community.
And what do you hope that people will take away from I Am the Gospel on Steel?
In the first instance, the gospel itself will be presented. But in the second instance, the national instrument will be presented. I have not seen before that level of fusion between gospel music and the steel orchestra. And, you know, you may have the steel band playing one or two songs, but on Saturday and Sunday, they'll play everything.
This is the first time under the direction of Dr. Mia Gomendi Benjamin that a full steel orchestra is putting on a gospel concert. This time in Trinidad and Tobago. So you've seen steel in all other genres of music, but with a full gospel intervention. It is truly going to be something very different, and you're doing it with the oldest steel orchestra in the world.
Yeah, 91 years.
Yeah. Now tell us about the team behind all of this. I know you have many volunteers coming together to put all of this together. You have musicians, you have production, you have performance, technical teams. So tell us about the team getting this event on the road.
All of the aspects of theatre will be employed. So we have the light design and the sound design, and then we have our stage manager being Dean Rayside, and all of those backroom things that are being done in theatre will be brought into that. But in addition to that, as was mentioned, Dr. Mia Gomendi, she has scored all the music. And the music is by the great Richard Smallwood, who just passed away earlier this year, who wrote some of the most iconic pieces of gospel music, Total Praise, I Love the Lord, that we've heard Whitney Houston singing. That was written by Richard Smallwood, and that will be performed at the show.
Yeah. You know, Steel Pan really continues to find new spaces and new audiences as well, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but in the world. These collaborations are very important to continue to show the versatility of Steel Pan now in this sort of fusion and with the arts. It's absolutely beautiful.
And it's not just, and yes, it is versatility, but it's also we as Trinbagonians need to reinstill pride into our country. And the steel pan is a single instrument that has been created right here from a biscuit tin into an instrument that is world-renowned. And we need to continue fueling that. And when we see, because you have to remember, there was a time that the steel pan was not even allowed in a church.
Yeah.
And now that all faiths are embracing, it's definitely not allowed. It was not seen as something spiritual. So it has come a long way. And I think if we, and I know that if we continue to fuel that, we will create the biggest miracle ever.
Now, through its work, Renaissance Productions has supported vulnerable families and children. I'm correct. How does the organization ensure that the creative work now continues to translate into real community impact?
One of the fundamental things about our performances is that the money that we get, we put it back into the community. In this case, all of the performance from the Saturday night, all the income that is gotten from the performance of the Saturday night is going to be given to the Academy for the Massey Trinidad All-Stars. Because I am just blown away when I go to the panyard and I see little children. I mean, I can't even play a comb. All these little children are learning, and they're not learning pan just to play, or we used to say beat pan, but now it's play pan. But they're also learning the fundamentals of music. And they're also learning to work with each other. They're also learning the craft and how to present themselves. I went there and saw that every night they have different uniforms. Those things are little things that bring value to the person. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting back money into the Academy.
And we are grateful for that, because the Academy, one of the arms of the Academy is to allow children to learn how to play pan from the age of 5-6 years old. But it also caters for senior citizens who 40 years ago or 50 years ago didn't have the opportunity to learn to play pan, because we all went to school and learned to play the recorder. So you can now
Have you ever used the recorder after that?
Never. So the Academy, the funding that comes into the Academy is well used again to build the foundation.
I love that. Before you go now, tell us exactly about the upcoming production. How can we attend and what to expect at this experience?
The show is going to be staged at the Woodbrook Pentecostal Church, the new facility, which is closer to Ryson Road. And the tickets are on sale across the country. We have tickets at the Panyard. We have tickets from Renaissance members. We have tickets at Allison's Variety in San Fernando, Living Legacy Pharmacy in Arima, and all the 20 stores around the country. If you want to attend this, understand this very well. It is not just going to be a fabulous experience in music and theater, but it's going to be an investment in the young people.
Parking, so we know that Woodbrook is a place that parking is rare to find, right? So parking will be available at the stadium, and there will be shuttles taking you to the location. And again, as a community outreach for those persons that venture into Naval Juice Junction, 46 to 48 Duke Street, which is Trinidad All-Stars Pan Yard, you will get tickets for $300. Two persons an entry for $300, but that is just until tomorrow. After that, it's $200 per person for entry.
Thank you very much. All the information is on the screen for you as well. It takes place June 27th, 28th at the Woodbrook Pentecostal Church at 6 p.m. And of course, you can get this information again at TTT Live online a little later on when we post all the content from the show. 7:35, that's the time. Thank you very much for both being here.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you soon. All right, we take another break, and when we come back, the show continues.
Dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Oh, shun mi ba.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays, 6 p.m., Tuesdays, 1:10 p.m.
If you miss any part of this show, sucks to be you. It's about that time. Hi, I'm Penny Gomez, and welcome to Pop. It's Wendy Fitzwilliams. Welcome to Pop. Oh my God, what majesty.
I'm new to Penny on point.
Peter Alliance. You don't know, guys, what it took to get him here. Sorry, stop. Food art? Food art.
I like. Can we speak Penny?
Sure. Whoa, I feel as if having both of you in here is just like atomic energy. All right. Yeah. Don't come up in here and change the rules of the competition.
Penny, block your ears a minute.
Okay.
She gave us limited input, but I just battled all the trophy in people show. big belly man do an award.
You are both crazy. That's what this is determined. I feel as if we need like 2 episodes of Pop to get through with these two.
My family were calling, so what to show them what I was doing. The right temperature.
If I had papers, I'll just throw it all up and just let the show go to the dogs. I am just putting out a disclaimer there for whatever happens. I'm not responsible. Penny exits.
Penny on point. And Peter Poppin.
And Peter Poppin. Eyelashes.
Yeah.
There. All right.
Good morning.
This is The Link Up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
1 FM, Nicholas and Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Virmala. Good morning.
How are you this morning? And why is it not Friday yet? Oh, gosh, we are pushing through. But gentlemen, I know that the football action is on for both of you. So what are you fighting about these days?
Well, should I begin? You go ahead. You take the lead this morning.
Okay, I want to hear this from Nick.
Well, we're not really fighting. It's just that, Mark is elated. His team seems to be going through to the round of 32, which is the USA.
Tell him.
And as I said, coming out of the 32 does not mean you're going to win. There's still a round of 16 and so forth. So
let's go down to the eight.
I expected the US to come out to the round of in the round of 32, but you are claiming that they're going to win the World Cup, and I'm telling you that they're not going to win the World Cup.
First, you began by saying they ain't coming out of the group.
No, I never said that. I said they're coming out of the group.
All of a sudden,
they didn't win any World Cup. Mark is backing USA for the World Cup.
I'm telling you.
And I told him the furthest they're gonna get is maybe to the round of 60. Maybe.
No, they didn't say maybe. They're gonna get to the round of 8. We're down to 8. Then it'll be down to 4.
I don't know.
Then it'll be down to 4. Then it'll be down to 2.
Hey. You see what I deal with on a daily basis, yeah?
Nick, you sound the exasperation there. I realize, yeah. Mark, I support whatever
the delusion
Mark says.
is
Mark, I'm on your side. Anything you say, I will help you out because I feel like you need it.
Much.
I genuinely feel like you need it. Gentlemen, also this morning, we've been talking a lot about that earthquake in Venezuela.
The earthquakes, yes.
Yeah, and right now the number has officially gotten to 164 people confirmed dead, with 971 people injured. So that's something we're continuing to chase, hopefully we could see some sort of relief coming for Venezuela. Lots of countries have pledged assistance, but this is a disaster that's very hard to come back from.
Yeah, and we saw footage of the of some of the damage in Venezuela. We saw buildings being ripped in half. We saw this morning I woke up to videos from people, cell phone footage of people experiencing it live as it happened, and it's really harrowing to see people experiencing damage around them. I think, Mark, we saw one where we saw a wall coming down on a mother and child.
And what do you do? Where do you run? That's the thing about it. You're wondering, where do I go?
I actually have that footage on the screen. I'm not sure if you can see, guys, but
this is at the airport.
Yeah, this is what's happening. Well, what happened this morning, and look at I can't even imagine being in that situation. I don't want to imagine being in that situation. That is
it's one of the we were talking about how helpless it feels being in an earthquake. I remember when we had a world shake up here, and how it felt.
And that was a big shake up.
And it was one of the most helpless feeling I've ever had in my life. You just along for the ride, and whatever happens, you just have to let it happen, and that it's rough.
Yeah,
it is a scary thing to experience. I've experienced many earthquakes, but the last one that you were referring to was the most scary one of
that we had in Trinidad.
The most scary one, and what was that? I can't remember what that earthquake measured. It was big.
Maybe a 6 point something.
It was a big one.
Also, gentlemen,
but imagine they had back-to-back earthquakes in Venezuela, 40 seconds apart.
Yeah, that's it.
7.2 and 7.5.
Yeah, 5. So it was definitely something that we can see why that damage has happened, and we can only imagine the extent of the damages that they will continue to uncover. But I want to touch on one thing before I go. Did you see that video with the ATM, the heist, the backhoe, and then they...
Batman.
No, come on, listen to me.
You saw when he fell down?
Yeah.
You saw when he fell down?
Why?
What type of movie, Hollywood... behavior is this?
Ocean 15.
Yeah, so people were referring to actually it happened in another country and
Yes.
they copied that, you know, and
Too
they
much
they
TV.
compared the video. Yeah, boy.
much bad
Oh gosh,
TV.
boy.
But
I
What
should
is
say.
this?
these guys are brave, eh?
Yeah,
They stole the back
and
one, the
you
truck.
know, I do believe that
they're
they
brave.
have a suspect in custody. So
Good job, TTPS.
Yeah.
Batman or Robin? Did
Well,
they
they
get Batman
actually
or Robin?
look at that. They
at
were able to flee empty-handed.
After all
And
of that,
the truck was actually found abandoned, and well, look at the damage.
imagine that. Look at that. After all of that, they
Absolute
still didn't get the
chaos.
loot.
Are you seeing the video on the screen?
We see. Yeah,
I'm seeing
We're-
Batman.
Yeah, so
and
all
Robin.
of
looking at this video
that
now.
hard work to do something that's awful, and
But
look,
where did you get that
where
outfit
did that get you? In jail.
Yeah, in jail. But good job to the TTPS apprehending the suspect, and
Yes.
I do hope that they get the other one and bring everyone involved to justice, because even though they left empty-handed, you know, Virmala spoke about the damage
Yeah.
to the
Inconvenience to many persons and
place, you know,
Yep.
so
Yeah. All
I
right,
do
gentlemen.
hope that they get, you know, justice.
Thank you for chatting with me this morning. Always good to have your company.
Definitely.
I'll talk
Thank
to you
you.
next
Definitely.
week where we do this all over again. By the way, before I go quickly, my favorite song right now, Nick, it's Funds. I think it's Temple Funds.
Funds.
That's-
Wow.
I don't know. It's really nice. It's good. The beat is good.
Kids just
I
want to have fun.
I like
it.
I know. I
Good one,
think
good one.
I surprised the rest of them here as well when I said that. Have
Yeah,
a great day,
you
guys.
did.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Be
take care.
safe.
Take care.
All right.
All right.
That was the link up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
Today, good morning.
This is The Link Up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
Coming up, hot plates, cold drinks, and chilled vibes were the order of the month in Antigua and Barbuda. Top chefs, tasty menus, influencers, and foodies. The boxes were ticked, kitchens buzzing, and grills fired up. It's the one and only Antigua and Barbuda Culinary Month. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Resilient, brave, worthy. 12 majestic women, 12 majestic journeys. Majestic Makeover Season 3, coming soon to TTT and TTT Live Online.
Majestic Makeover Season 3 is powered by
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z. Or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugsbot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
My mind's so consumed with pain.
You're fired.
I need this job, man.
You need help.
I have other concerns for tenants who actually pay.
Miss.
So, how can I help?
I need a room. I got $40.
That's not enough. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's me.
You okay?
I need your help.
Well, as we've been updating you before, Venezuela is reeling after two powerful earthquakes struck just minutes apart. And this really caused widespread destruction and loss of life. As I told you, the death toll right now, it is 164 with 971 people injured. Well, joining us now from Venezuela is Ignacio Ruben Smith Salazar, who will give us a first-hand account of the situation on the ground today and the ongoing response to this disaster. Good morning.
Good morning. To you and to your viewers.
Yeah, sure. Firstly, we really want to say that we're so sorry about everything that has happened. And, just we are here with you and we are so grateful that you're spending this time with us to explain what's the situation like on the ground. Can you describe that situation where you are now and what conditions are like currently on the ground? We're seeing some damage behind you as well.
Oh, yes. There was our condominium suffered superficial damage, no structural damage per se. Again, I was alive when we had the 1967 earthquake, and this was nothing like 1967. This was more powerful. After the earthquake, I started seeing a lot of the first responders, and we have a couple of doctors living in the building, and they were ready to assist any of the neighbors that were in pain or had suffered some kind of injury. On the second floor, apartment 23, which is to the left side of the building, if you're looking south, the whole wall to the small bedroom collapsed and is currently lying on the ground floor of the building.
Now, where were you when the earthquake struck, and what did people experience in those moments? We're sorry to have you relive this for us, but we really want to get an idea of everything that happened.
Actually, Caracas is a city that has gone through we are right on a fault, so we live with a lot of earthquakes. But I was with my parents, who are both over 90 years old, and we were sitting around, and I was trying to fix the television for them. And all of a sudden, I started to hear my earthquake alarm on my phone, but I didn't recognize that that was an alarm. I started hearing a couple of plates that we had outside tingling, and then all of a sudden, this was around 6:05 in the afternoon. They claim it was 6:03. Well, yeah, 6:03, 6:04. I started to feel the whole condominium shaking. So I told my mother, let's go into the bathroom, which is probably the safest place because of all the steel tubes that we have. And that would hold the walls together, but the tiles inside the wall tiles inside of the bathroom started to fly out. So my mother went to the center of the building, my center of the room, and then my father got up and he also sat up. And when the first earthquake, the strong earthquake stopped, we started praying. We started holding hands and started praying, and then about 30 seconds to 45 seconds later, then everything stopped, and that is when we made the decision to exit the apartment and go to the ground floor.
You know, Ignacio, have essential services been affected? Well, we are in communication with you now, so luckily that. But what about water and things like that?
Well, we have power. All the mobile networks collapsed. Right now, using the signal that I'm getting from the home provider, but in places where gas that have a direct gas service, the direct gas service was suspended. I don't think, well, I haven't checked because I haven't made tea or coffee, but I suspect that we have almost all the services because, as you would probably know, because we have a shortage of power supply, we don't have 24/7 water. Water comes rationed, and normally we get 3 days of 24/7 water, which is Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and then Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays we get 2.5 hours a day.
Now, what have the authorities been telling the residents? What messages are you getting from the authorities? And what are the immediate concerns that are facing you all right now?
Well, I've always been a person who plans ahead. So I would say that one of the most immediate concerns would be to secure foodstuff, because most people would have done some of their shopping a couple of days ago, but not all their shopping because obviously it's not the end of the month. However, I normally keep a stock of long shelf items on an average of 6 months. So we are pretty safe on that side. I'm not sure whether everybody has that same mindset, but we don't have reasons to step out of the house unless there is a replication of another earthquake or anything, any other, call it act of God. Other than that, right now, what we are doing is just salvaging the tiles that we can salvage and cleaning the debris that was caused by the earthquake.
All right. Well, thank you very much, for joining us, Ignacio. We really appreciate you spending this time with us. Hopefully, we'll check in with you, in the coming days. And we really, really, really are sorry about all of this. And we wish you all the best going forward. And we'll keep up with you. Have a good day as best as you can with everything that's happening. All right. Take care.
Thank you for your time.
A Venezuelan national joining us live from Venezuela. This is where we say goodbye. See you tomorrow, 6 to 8, where we do this all over again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. A national of Trinidad and Tobago, Joel St. John, has spent the past year serving as the Regional Junior Tourism Minister for the Caribbean Tourism Organization. In this distinguished role, she represented youth perspectives across the region while contributing to discussions on tourism development and advocacy. Reflecting on her tenure, Ms. St. John shared insights from her experiences over the past year, highlighting the opportunities, challenges, and personal growth that came with serving in such an important capacity.
And over the past year, as Regional Junior Minister of Tourism, my experiences have allowed me to view the island on a much wider lens. A lot of the things we regard as ordinary as Tobagonians, or culture, or traditions, or people, the festivals that we host, or cuisine, these are things that really make for a world-renowned tourism product.
Ms. St. John noted that her interactions also gave her a broader and more nuanced perspective on what Tobago has to offer to the rest of the world.
My experience has also taught me and enlightened me to the fact that we do still have work to do in terms of enhancing our products and ensuring that what we offer is truly top tier. But Tobago really is a gem within the Caribbean, and it's enlightening to see that engaging with other tourism professionals and youth from other islands allows me to see that we have similar but yet unique and differently offered products.
The CTO's Regional Tourism Youth Congress brings together students aged 14 to 17 from across the region to share their innovative ideas on the future of regional tourism. The next Congress will be held in Georgetown, Guyana from October 5th to 9th, 2026. In other news, Alan Ferguson, president of the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association, says the organization is taking a proactive stance in addressing copper theft as recurring incidents continue to impact utilities, businesses, and critical infrastructure nationwide.
Problem most of us have by people breaking law is enforcement and things that we need to do. And I'm saying that we as an organization, we found it upon ourselves to be police our own industry, and we will pull a team together again to make sure that people follow the rules.
Measures being proposed are tighter monitoring of scrapyards and the licensing of scrap collectors and van operators.
So you will be able to come into our yard with copper without proof that you buy it or where you get it from. You will need to be able to do that again. So Trinidad and Tobago, if you used to walk in a scrapyard with copper without proof of where you get it from, all these things will be thing of the past.
Mr. Ferguson says the association also plans to introduce a cap on copper prices and reduce cash payments to make transactions easier to trace. He warned that continued thefts could threaten the future of the scrap metal industry and the livelihoods of thousands of workers. Mr. Ferguson says the association is ready to begin enforcement initiatives as soon as government approval is secured. And in sport, the Trinidad and Tobago Under-20 women's basketball team is making their return to the Central American and Caribbean Games. The team will depart Trinidad and Tobago on July 22nd for the Dominican Republic. Under the guidance of experienced head coach Christopher Jackson Charles, TNT will be hoping for a podium finish.
We have some girls who have played at a certain level and know the challenges, and I think based on the camaraderie that we intend to develop and we have developed and still developing, we can give a good account of ourselves. Our aim and objective, as always, is to compete as opposed to participate. So competition means that we're going to compete and we're trying to bring back medals for Trinidad and Tobago.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. On behalf of all of us, have a great day.